Is that Backstage? What are you doing in my kitchen? Well, since you're here, we might as well answer some questions, do some chatting, and get to know each other a little bit better. Why not? Yeah? 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 Yeah. So since I just took over the page, I don't have any questions yet. I'll vamp though by saying, first question that inevitably gets asked whenever I do these, this is coffee in this cup. So don't worry about it. It's not something weird. I was absolutely a fan of both the Scream franchise as well as the creators making the fifth one, in addition to just being wildly influenced and a fan of Wes and the original vision. You can imagine my reaction was rife with a lot of screaming, a lot of celebratory shouts, and I didn't have this dog yet, so we didn't get to celebrate, but we would now. He's celebrating on my behalf. Crazy excited. It's funny because when you work on something with so many talented people, you have this moment either at a table read or before you actually get to work where you just wonder if you deserve it, and I just have to hope I do. I am blessed and fortunate enough to have such supportive and loving parents as I do. That's my mother and my father that work tandem to make me feel loved and appreciated. I think he had hoped I'd do something else, but that's okay. Acting is and can be such a tumultuous and unstable career path, as many of us know. So I think as a parent, it can always be curious to know how to support your child, but if they love it, let them do it. Oh God, this is such a long... Okay, so my first professional job was on Ballers, season 4, playing Parker Jones, a surfer, opposite Dwayne Johnson. And I got that role by auditioning for another role that went to Eli Gorey, another wildly talented and... I auditioned for that character, what is his name? Quincy, 7 times, and it went to the wildly more fitting and talented actor. Eli is brilliant, but with my blonde hair, as I was saying, with my blonde hair that I did for college with a student film friend of mine, they were like, we have a role who's a surfer, and you kind of look the part for that, which is funny because that blonde hair helped me get the role in Booksmart. So I should probably keep this to acting, but absolutely. Hold on. This is so bad. Whatever. You asked, so I'm just giving you what you want. I just got the latest Demon Slayer. Oh, there's spoilers on the cover. But yeah, self-tape audition advice. My favorite format of auditioning is certainly self-tapes because you get to control every aspect of it. It usually leads to a longer process, but I think it's worth it in the end. I'm going to do another one so I have more time. First and foremost, I think with self-tapes, it is wildly important, but maybe underrated, to have an actual actor or person you trust and feel can deliver a good performance behind the camera be reading with you in your self-tapes. Obviously, if you don't have access to someone like that, the best reader you can find is more than suitable. But whatever it takes to convey the emotion that you wouldn't get in a room with a casting associate because you're using an actor, the better. I love this question and talking to any actor about what it was that made them start. But a love of performance, I think, is the easiest way to pinpoint when it began from an early age. That said, I'm always rediscovering my love for acting as I work. And more importantly, I learn or have or experience these aha moments as I interact with other actors and people that talk about their experience and what they love about acting, because that incites in me a perspective that maybe I didn't think of. This question I find incredibly important, both to ask and to know the answers to. For me personally, I met with a casting director that directed me the way of an agent, and then eventually I met with a manager, and that is how the team. I was incredibly privileged and blessed to have that path onto the beginning of my career, but I always wonder what it was that allowed other actors to find their way into the industry. I remember my dad always saying, especially when friends or people would ask how to get into the industry, he would always say, find an agent. But finding an agent is hard to do without work, and you can't get work without an agent. So fortunately, the answer has to be kind of vague, but I do think there's merit in knowing that whatever you're doing as an actor, whether it be finding auditions for yourself, meeting with agents or managers, or just making your own stuff, shorts, skits, etc., it all works to help build your craft. So obviously there are a lot of methods out there on how we find character and live truthfully in the persona of who we're playing. I love psychology and the study of the human condition, so for me I kind of think and pontificate on adolescence and what made the character who they are today. Once that audition's over, once you close out of that tab, once you cut on the recording, once you leave the audition room, let it be in the past. Odds are that there are a million things going on behind the scenes that you have no control over, so just be proud of the good job that you did. Well, it certainly depends on the character, but one thing that I would also say remains constant is so long as you have a supportive, creative, loving cast and crew by your side, especially by people that you find are maybe more talented than you always find it every time. I know you've probably heard this a million times, but there is merit in making and honing your craft. Skits, sketches, there are ways to get your acting and your performance out there so that you can be in the right place at the right time. Acting classes are interesting to me because I personally feel whatever you need to do wherever you need to be to find a community in which you can fail and try new things and grow from it is a community you should be a part of, whether that be acting classes or just acting. Tips on self-confidence, you're great. You don't need tips. You know how good you are. And I'm being genuine. You know how good you are, especially if you work at it every day. You should have a sense of how good you are and how good you can be, so just own that. And as for the second part of your question, it's good to fail. You learn from that. It's growing. It's a learning lesson. Incredibly so. I have the utmost amount of pride and gratitude for the writers and the production staff of Love Victor because they keep me happy. They keep the rest of the cast happy with these brilliant storylines. You should go to college to learn about yourself, both as an actor and as a student and as a person. I feel like whatever you have to do to get there, whether that be college or just getting started out from the get-go, is perfectly valid. You would think, given the disparaging genres, but no, both are cases of beautiful, lovely, talented casts of people that made me feel welcome and creative at any given moment. So it's really just like from one to the next.
Quite strong. I can't believe how much it turns me on just to be your man. I love this song.
That it is a movie and I'm in it. Yep. Yeah, it would definitely be the dance number I got to do with the wildly lovely and talented Beanie Feldstein. The dance scene's way longer than what was in the movie, and we rehearsed a ton, and I got to know her as a performer and as a person, and she's incredible. And it was all right. I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much, Backstage, for having me. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and stay positive, yeah?